Content. The relationship between form and content is really the core principle of all art forms, whether it's film, orchestra, graphic arts, whatever. Content involves the subject of the art form. So it's the people, places, and things that are portrayed. It's the events that we watch happen. It's even the sounds that we hear. Again, whether it's a song on the radio, a piece of orchestration, or sound effects in films. Form is the means through which the content is expressed. So, how is the human figure portrayed? Is it a photograph? Is it an illustration or a sketch? How are the events being told? Is it told from a specific point of view? Or is the order of events juxtaposed in a way to make it more interesting? Even when we listen to music, what types of instruments are used? How can someone express row, row, row your boat by using a piano? And how is it different if it's played with an oboe? The different instruments and the different ways that they are played really influences the form of the content. If you look at this example of the human figure, you'll see what I'm talking about. Each one of these is an example of the human figure. However, the stick figure portrays a certain form. The statue of David is, in the eyes of many, an idealized vision of the human body. And even Superman, who is even grotesquely over-muscularized to show his strength or his physical prowess. All of them are in human form, but they're just expressed a little bit differently. If you look at another example, just look at the smile, for instance. We have a smiley face emoticon. We have Wario, who's smiling, but that smile is portrayed in a much different way. And even the Mona Lisa, smile is portrayed there, but which one is most appropriate? Well, it really depends on what you're trying to express. So you might be wondering, what does this have to do with film? Well, filmmakers make films in order to tell a story, but they have to think of ways of telling that story that touches upon the thematic ideas that the screenwriter is trying to express, or the major ideas that the director wants the audience to think about. If you look at just a simple surveillance camera footage from a convenience store, you'll see that that varies much differently than what filmmakers are trying to do. A surveillance camera footage is only going to have a singular point of view. There's no changing of scenes. It happens in real time, and it's silent. If you look at the example that is provided, you're going to see that we just see these two characters. We only see the events that are taking place in front of the camera, and that's it. There's no theme, there's no major idea, there's no morals or allegories or metaphors being used. It's just reality, and that's it. When you study film, you have to look at how films differ from reality footage. And it's different in a number of different ways. Filmmakers can provide multiple points of view or different shots to express what's really going on in the scene. There are scene changes. We can bounce from location to location. We can manipulate time where we can fast forward. We can go into slow motion. We can slow way down. We can even have flashbacks. We can tell the same 15 minutes of a story over and over and over from different points of view. There's diegetic and non-diegetic sound, meaning there's sound from the world that's created by the film, but then there's also sound that only the audience can hear, like the orchestrated leitmotif of Jaws. Dun, dun, dun. Only important information is expressed in a film. We don't have to suffer through the 14 hours of surveillance video just before the robbery takes place. It only shows us the important information in a film. And finally, there's interesting characters that we can identify with, we can empathize with, or we can dislike and root against. When looking at a film version of a robbery, we are introduced to characters leading up to the robbery. We see different locations at the place of the robbery. We are provided the point of view of different characters within the robbery, whether they are the robbers or the bank manager. And after the robbery has taken place, we see what happens after the robbery.